Morning, everybody. Grab a cup of coffee and a donut or three, and let's do some switching. Well, good Sunday morning, everybody. Let's start a switching session in Chillicothe. And I decided to go back to having the staging yard act as the yard. So you'll notice I'm coming in from the left instead of coming in from the right. Even though that's not really the way it was, I decided it just makes more sense to do it that way. You'll also notice that you're not going to see my hand in a few places because I used the tripod with the gimbal, and it was right next to the layout, and there's times I just could hardly reach in to uncouple, so I just stopped the video, uncoupled, and then started the video again, like that past time. So it'll make it go a little bit faster. I'm not trying to rush it, but that's just the way it's going to look. Okay. So this car that we left coupled to the engine is going to go in the off spot position. And you see the big N&W 60-foot car there. That's in the off spot position now at Wearever. It's going to go to door 1. So we went ahead and picked it up. And then when we put it back on the train, the cars will be in the proper position for Wearever. So it's a fairly simple operation. It's an absolutely beautiful fall day. It's maybe, upper 60s, blue skies, a little breeze, as you can hear by the wind chimes. Still not a drop of rain. It's just really, really dry. It's been about a month since I mowed the grass, I think, and it still doesn't need it. A lot of the leaves are falling off now because it's so dry, but we did have a little bit of fall color. Okay, so we pulled the off-spot car. Now we're going to go back and pick up the other two cars. Basically, we're going to empty the Wearever spur is what's going to happen. All 3 cars that were at car spots are going to be leaving, replaced with 3 other cars, including the N&W car at spot 1. And then the rail box car is going to go into the off-spot position. It's actually the second time I shot this. The first time I shot it, I was using an end view. And I just didn't feel like the locomotive was in focus very much. And so I just restaged everything and reshot it. It's real hardship to have to run trains. So these are the cars that are going to go on the spur. I'll have to listen to this when I'm done and see if I think the wind chimes are too distracting. I might be recording it again. I didn't realize it was that breezy. Got a lot of birds on the feeder, but they're not migrating birds. They're more birds that are going to be here year-round, like cardinals and little sparrows and things. And here comes Tux. All right, so we're going to couple onto the cars that are on the spur, and then we'll pull everything out. I told you when I narrate this in iMovie, I can't hear the sounds of the locomotive. So sometime if a weird sound happens, I don't realize it. But I do know that sometime during this move right here, my other phone rang. I apologize for that. I silenced it as quickly as I could. Just did not want to go back and have to reshoot everything for the third time. I think that may be the first time that's ever happened while I'm shooting a video. Yeah, I think I took so long right here because I was turning my phone off. So at the end of the video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the raccoon situation and the garden railroad, and I'll show Chance and Jazzy and Tux. I'm going to reposition the camera here, so I missed the pulling up to pass the switch. Of course, the plastics covered hopper goes all the way at the end, and then we can leave it coupled to the boxcar at door 2, but we have to uncouple between door 1 and door 2 and ease up a few feet to get the doors to line up. By the way, I'm scheduled to do like a Facebook Live thing with the Iron City N-Scale group from Pittsburgh this Wednesday, I think. So if you're a member of that group, you can look for it. I think I'll get my wife to run the camera while I run trains. And that was a lot of fun the last time we did it. So as soon as the engine gets coupled back onto the rest of the train, we'll end this and we'll start talking about, just very briefly about the raccoon situation with the pond. We'll pick up switching Union Spring in the next one. So let me give you an update on the pond. While I was in Missouri, Ellen said that the raccoon came back. We now have 2 fish. We started with 8. First time it just took 1. I think that it got in through here, through the waterfall, so I can't really seal that up very good. Well, I didn't think I could. You can see I've got it sealed up now. Anyhow, we've got a lot more bricks on it. I think he was just like, had his head stuck down in the waterfall. Of course, the waterfall is turned off at night, and was just reaching down there and grabbing fish. So we have 2 very scared fish left. I set the trap last night, because that's the first night I was home. I have one of those live traps, and I caught one. So I'll insert his picture here. Here's Chance and Jazzy in the backyard, and Tux. Chance and Jazzy are glad to have me home because Jazzy actually got a little operation on it was like a mole next to her eye while I was gone, and Chance got neutered. So they're both doing well, but since Mom had to be the one to take him there and pick him up, she took the blame for it. So I'm the hero. Anyhow, back to the raccoon. So he was unharmed. Of course, I wear gloves, and I'm very, very careful not to get my hands anywhere where it can grab me. It's hissing and spitting, of course. I was placed about 10 miles away. County was going to put a reservoir in about 20 years ago, and the plans fell through. But it is completely empty land. Nobody farms it. Nobody lives there. Closest house is, probably a mile away. And that's the area of the county is very sparsely populated. And so it's basically a wildlife sanctuary. I think that's what the name of it is now. It's something wildlife sanctuary, and they allow hunting and stuff there. So anyhow, that's where I rehomed him, and I'm going to set the trap. Last time I did this, I caught 3. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to keep setting the trap until 2 weeks after I catch one, and then we'll see what happens. But the growing season is over anyhow, so I may just leave the cover on the pond all winter. But yeah, it's a shame that we lost that many fish. So everybody stay safe.